Hey guys, today's story is about a player who thinks he's a DM and prevents other players from actually playing. We are a relatively new party of 5, where this is the first long campaign of our DM who is doing an amazing job. I have probably the most experience as a player, 2 who have a moderate experience, and 2 new players, that guy being one of them. As of late, that guy has played a lot, granted, but that doesn't seem to alleviate the problems at hand. He also has DM'd for one shot before this campaign that I know of, which somehow justifies him being more experienced than anyone else, despite both me and the actual DM having similar or more DM experience. You see, not only is he a min-maxer who ridicules, according to him at least, my min-max character, despite not being that at all. I just choose some features wisely to help the party as much as I can, and then throws a fit if people don't optimize their characters, telling them that they are not a team player if they don't. After all, according to him, we're all a super serious group and everything should be taken seriously. He also metagames at every possible opportunity to the point of practically playing other PCs for them, or doing roles before the DM tells him to. For example, if we see an NPC, he will just blurt out,
"I know him,"
and roll a history or whatever check, and despite a nat 20, the DM will again and again tell him that, no, his character doesn't. He will also tell other players to do this instead of that, because of
the rule of cool.
But it doesn't stop there. He also rule lawyers with the DM under the guise that he knows, whatever, really well, and the DM is inexperienced. And he knows all of this because he has read stuff. Granted, not from playing experience. And he DM'd that one time, so he
knows this as a DM.
He will actively tell the DM that if a problem arises, they will discuss it later, to the bafflement of us other players and the DM. He will also explain every possible thing. He does so that he can educate either other players or the DM, without being asked to and without it being necessary. But the worst of all, the most sacrilegious, is his RPing, if you can even call it that. First of all, it is hard to know when he is in character or out of character, because he jumps between them a lot to either explain, metagame, or backseat DM. But when he finally gets in character, he does nothing but mess up all of our plans or interactions for reasons no one can fathom. He will metagame for the longest time and spend a lot of time also in character discussing what we're going to do rather than actually doing said stuff. But as soon as anyone else tries to have a moment, suddenly we need to hurry up and just do whatever we are planning to. His character will also act extremely strangely unprompted, and the rest of us try to talk in character and talk to his character about what's going on, which results in nothing changing and him continuing goofing around, sacrificing all of our plans and our in-character interactions. For instance, one PC had to physically drag him onto a carriage and tell someone else to look out for him while they prepared, who had a better strength stat and could potentially grapple him if he decided to run off. Again. Just because he had a dream the night before that didn't do anything mechanically to him. He just decided that his character was extremely confused, and instead of metagaming things as he usually does, he decided that this was the perfect opportunity to go full out and method into his character. And we had to spend almost 30 minutes on this just to get on our way. Even when his character knew that we were in a hurry, and then when we had an encounter, he decided that his confused character would try to go talk to the person we were fighting after they almost killed another PC in one shot. And in character was mad when the other PCs didn't listen to his plan after the fact. In addition to this, at another part of the campaign, we were all in a high-stakes ploy to get into the house of a high-profile NPC to do some espionage. To do this, a PC created disguises and a cover story to get us in, and it went okay, until he decided that he had to do something else. He suddenly removed his disguise and told the guard who he really was because he
Knew someone in the house who could confirm this.
After another PC had successfully deceived the guard that we were someone else. To make a long story short, the DM had to be our guardian angel and open up for another way for us to get in, since we were already spent 2 hours on our first plan, which I wouldn't have done, but I was grateful for it at the time. I have tons of other examples where he just created a sour taste in my mouth, and I know my best friend, who is also in the game, feels the same way. I also talked to the DM about this, who had to talk with him after a particularly bad session, but I don't know if this will ever get better. And it's a shame, because the campaign is so interesting and fun, excluding everything he does. And the DM is amazing for having created the world, and I'm really in love with the story. The DM is also doing a lot to include everyone's backstory, and it is done in such a good way. I'm honestly just in love with this campaign. I also love my character and the other PCs, and that's why I have hesitated to quit. It's not easy to kick him out either, because at least one of the other players is super close to him, and will follow him wherever he goes. And he was the one who organized all this to begin with. I'm not so sure about the third player, but I know that me and my best friend are fairly fed up with his crap and at a loss. Well guys, this guy is obviously not going to change. He's not letting anyone get a word in, and has main character syndrome, who happens to know everybody, as well as him rule lawyering, which is annoying to even the most patient of individuals. It'd also probably be best for the OP and his friend to talk to the DM and state their terms. By the sounds of it, either way, 2 players are going to be leaving the campaign. And with the way the OP has described things, the DM very well might favor keeping the OP and his friend over this wonderful player. But in any case, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have a story that you'd like me to narrate, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a good one.